Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Jason Hunt here, inviting you to join us every Saturday morning for news, the week's headlines in science fiction, fantasy, horror, comic books, video games, plus Comic-Con updates and the weather, and the occasional interview along the way. We call it Good Morning Multiverse. We hope you join us every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, right here on Sci-Fi for Me TV.
chaperone can get our number. The world's in slumber. Let's misbehave. There's something wild about you, child, that's so contagious. Let's be outrageous. Let's misbehave. When Adam won Eve's hand, he wouldn't stand for teasing. He didn't care about those apples out of season. They say the spring means just one thing to little lovebirds. We're not above birds. Let's misbehave.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
And good afternoon, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at criticalblast.com. And yes, this is our off hours sort of thing to, take care of all our friends who are living on the other side of the world. It's a big place and it's not the same time everywhere. So we adjust as needed to. So I am here to talk with the UK today. And with us, we have Mr. Rich Perotta, who has a Kickstarter going. Rich, how you doing, man?
Oh, there's the camera. Okay, cool. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I am actually very well, to be honest with you.
Good. Glad to hear it. You've been a busy guy. I mean, I see you almost like every day drawing pages.
There's something that, it's one thing I'm doing and another. Well, a lot of times it's like I'm just trying to prep all the pages because I've already penciled most of the pages for the first issue. If not, I have about 2 more left, and then I got to ink them digitally, and then I got to flat them, and then they have to be colored and then lettered, and it's like I'm just happy it's not like the 64-page poop-a-loop that I did for the second issue of my first book. So I'm just, I'm happy with that.
It looks like you're more into doing it.
This one requires a little bit more work. This one requires a little bit more work because I'm dealing with a specific period in time, the 1920s. Whereas with the first one, Incantessi, it was the 2018 Milan, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's just there, I didn't really have to go crazy doing all that. Just look up a few reference points of some streets on Milan and interiors of apartments. That was easy enough. But this one I have to really study because there's so much Art Deco and so much other stuff and everything. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's not just the art, but I mean it's like the history. You're making it up as you go along, but you don't want to do something like name the wrong president or something like that. You want to, you don't want to take them out of the story by doing something against accepted chronology, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's that slightly alternate history type of thing. You still had a president. I don't know who the president at the time was, unfortunately, Bad Rich. But the period as to what happened during that time, locations in Chicago, did a whole bunch of research on how the nice Tommy guns. Thanks, Woody. With all party on, man. Lots of hard work. Well, it can be, yeah. It can be, but it's fun. It's not really work. I mean, I love doing it. To me, it's the best thing that I've done. I've put far and away the most work into this, and I'm really enjoying it.
I can definitely see, having seen some of your past work and then your work on Incantessi, and then to hear there's a real evolution to the style that's going on here.
Yeah.
People, if you just put it all side by side, you can see it was all good before, but
it's okay. No, you're right. It's like, the work was okay before, but for this one, I wanted to. You see, when I drew the first 2 issues, the story got away from me a little bit. I have to admit, and I put it to the side because I wanted to fortify it a little bit more, and I kind of have. I've already written the plot for issue 3 of Incantessi, which should be out next year. But I drew those Flapper Girls that I showed you before, and it's just like they just popped into my head, and I'm like, there's something here. And I have to admit, you helped me out a little bit with that. So I decided to make a story out of it, and it just showed up. And I'm really jazzed for this one because this has a lot of twists and turns, and it's like I can't wait to see how it unfolds. I mean, initially, I even have it for a six-issue run, but it may go more depending on how things go. I mean, depending on the reception. I just have to stick with it, and like put it out continuously. And since every issue is going to be between 24 and 28 pages of art, it's more than feasible for me to do it once every 3 months, or maybe even earlier.
Yeah, that
so
would be outstanding in the world of crowdfunded comics. A book that you can put out every 3 months would be the word would get out.
Yeah, it would definitely get out. So I'm very happy about that, and I love doing it, and I love the reception from it. It's just and for everybody out there in the audience, there's going to be a page that's going to be a little bit of a surprise, which I've already shown RJ. And we're going to show that page last because I want to make sure that everyone gets to see it first.
Let me make sure that last page is last.
Yeah, to make sure that last page is last. Because that one, yeah, everyone will see what I did with that last particular page that I did. So let's just say it's a tribute. It's a tribute to a friend.
You know what? It would have been last anyway. I was just going to call it Z.
Okay.
And say,
do that. That would work. So yes, for anybody who has not heard of me or anything, my name's Rich Perotta. I'm a former Marvel and DC artist who's been worked from 1994 to 2012 at Marvel and DC with a 5-year break in the middle. And 2013, well, I was an inker most of the time over at Marvel, and I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. I mean, I climbed that mountain already, worked for Marvel and DC. That's enough. So I decided to start penciling. And I started working in the independent circuit. And I've had a great time because there's so much more creative freedom in the independent market.
Sir.
Very much so. And it's not style guided or anything along those lines. It's like you don't have to follow a certain thing. And it's almost like you don't have to do any type of templates that, Marvel or DC might give to you with any of their characters. It's like, this is static. You got to do this. And I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, the indie market is so much better for creativity and the diversity when it comes to the creation of the characters and all that. It's so much more fun. And
I wonder, do they even have house style anymore at the big two? Because it seems like, Spider-Man in one book doesn't look like Spider-Man in a title comes out the same month.
Well, they have the same style guide. It's like you have to draw it this way. This is what the costume is supposed to look like. Okay. If it changes a little bit, then that's fine. But this is a basic idea. You can't really change the way that he looks all the way through. And it's the same with all the characters. And with all due respect, I used to love Marvel comics, but it's just rehashing of the stories over and over again and then making them implausible and just it's just, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
How many times can Gwen Stacy not die?
And and the latest incarnation of the New Warriors that lasted never, that was a
troll job. That was Marvel trying to get a reaction.
Really? Because that's amazing.
I mean, we've actually had, and I'd be hard pressed to name the example now, but I know it's been out there. But we've actually had, issues published solely for the point of making people angry online.
That's horrible. That really is. That's terrifying.
Have you seen that series they've got out now called Edge of Spider-Verse?
No. Wait, is that the one where Thor and Miles Morales are the same person or something?
That's the What If series for Miles Morales. Edge of Spider-Verse is new Spider-Man characters, new takes on Spider-Man from different multiple universes.
Oh no!
And, I mean, they had the last month. The whole deal was the fabulous Spider-Man.
Really?
Yes.
It's one thing a character is gay, but then to make him stereotype, it's like, excuse me.
Yeah, that was like, the big bug eyes had like eyeliner on them.
Oh no.
But
Really?
but the Spider-Man from the Edge of Spider-Verse is a young lady, and they show her swinging through the air in a costume, always a modified costume, and then she's carrying something in a bundle on her back. And then
Yeah.
the next panel, you see her, she's out of costume. The bundle is unpacked, and it's her wheelchair.
Okay.
I'm like,
How
how does she swing if her legs don't work? I mean, shouldn't they just be like kind of dangling loosely
yeah,
below her?
yeah, it's wait, what?
Yeah,
Really?
I'll find the picture. I'll find the
Oh wait,
picture.
I saw it on Twitter a little while. Oh God, yeah. Oh man. Oh, and I remember that she had that cover that Charles Xavier had, but it was rainbow.
Yes, she had the rainbow
Oh,
blanket around her
God.
legs. Yes.
So she's a gay paraplegic Spider-Man, female Spider-Man, Spider-Woman.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently, I don't know. She's supporting her best friend who's like dead or something. Yeah, probably her girlfriend who died or something was lesbian or I don't know.
Yeah. Everybody
Gwen.
gets yes. Gwen. Everybody gets to be Spider-Man at some point, thanks to the multiverse in Marvel Comics.
Yeah,
Nothing matters.
that's gonna be worse than what DC did pre-Crisis '86. That's gonna be a complete and absolute screw up. And you're not, and unfortunately, may his soul rest in peace forever. You're not going to get George Perez to draw a Crisis of Infinite Earths Marvel edition.
No,
because it's like I mean, at least a lot of the characters in DC, there was some purpose to them. A lot of these are just now ridiculous at this point.
yeah. Speaking of Perez, I got this on eBay this week. Best number 200.
Oh,
Best fucking comic I've read in 3 years. Double wraparound cover.
Oh,
JLA members versus JLA members. And it was like, okay, so get this. It's like, it goes back to the first meeting of the Justice League where the 5 aliens were trying to take over and each one
yeah.
fought them individually and then they all come together.
Yeah.
Well, that story comes back to haunt them 200 issues later. And
Why?
the original 7 are like mind controlled to go dig up those meteors that they buried and bring back because the aliens are they're like eggs, they're going to rehatch out and fight again. So they don't remember their other Justice League fellows. So the thing divides into vignettes where it's like, okay, we're going to team up and go, stop the Flash from doing this. And you two team up and go stop Aquaman. And it's like the Green Lantern chapter was drawn by Gil Kane. The Flash chapter was drawn by Carmine Infantino.
What?
It was like whoever was like artist came in and drew that chapter. And then George Perez drew like all the in-between chapters and the overarching bookends.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Glorious story. Fun all the way through.
Wow.
Guys. More of these, please.
Yeah, more of those. More actual stories instead of, trying to, every episode, every issue is now an after-school special, a poorly produced after-school special. With yeah, it is. I'm like, oh, no, all right, we got the message. We did this. Okay. Can we have superheroes save the Earth from being cleaved in half by being transversed into another dimension? Please. Yes. Can we have Superman tug the Earth with a bunch of like adamantium chains and, and Tony Stark making engines the size of a continent pushing the Earth back together? Please.
Yeah, the over the top, this is
because that's awesome.
Well, here's the thing, Rich. See,
yes,
you can shoot the Joker in the face, but you can't do the same thing for racism and transphobia and things like the real important things.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, if you shoot Joker and you call him an FAG, it's like, hey, wait, that's me.
No. Oh, you will go to court over that, and he will win.
No. Yeah, there's a certain person that you and I will have talked about before. That'll be like, oh, I'm going to cancel you. just like, all right, sure you are. Okay, that's good.
Absolutely. Oh man, well, we got comments going on here, and I'm in the wrong section. Yes, back this book, pops. That's what we're here for. And there
Back
is
this book. Back this
yes
book, man.
a clickable link, a working clickable link. If you just look below the video, it's the very first line. It will take you to the Kickstarter. What Kickstarter am I talking about? I am talking about. Let me get the overlay out of the way, so Rich and I are out of the funny papers, and then I can add this over here.
Ta-da!
The
There
Roaring.
it is.
We're at 48 backers after just what, 4 days? No, it's more than 4
4 days. Well, 5 days now.
Okay.
5 days.
It's got 19 days to go. You didn't give it a
Yeah.
whole 30 days?
I gave it 25. I didn't want to give it 30. I gave it 25.
Okay. Well,
it should be
almost
okay. I mean, it's almost halfway there at this point. I think it will get to that point and beyond. I just, just like, well, I had events that you are aware of, unfortunately, with a lot of all my friends are aware of, that I really didn't think of changing anything because I was too busy thinking about that other thing. So
we haven't
perhaps I
talked
could
about
have
that directly, but I've inferred it from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's changes, turn
Yep.
the face the street. Yeah, that. And I didn't think of changing the ending date now that I have more time on my hands. So it's like, all right, yeah, I should have done it, but I think 25 days will be enough.
It should be. Now, when these characters first popped in your head, and you were showing me these flapper girls, and we were talking about, what can we do with comics? And of course, I was talking about like, hey, no one's done 1920s retro superhero designs. Now, of course, we've looked at that Gotham 1919 book. This didn't go the superhero direction.
Not really, no. Not really, no.
But when did you know that they were your protagonists were actually bad guys?
Yeah, the protagonists are the villains. They're the villains. Those 3 girls, they are the villains. I don't like common superhero successful endings because they're way too damn common. I mean, the stories might have gotten a little bit more elaborate, but a lot of times, the good guys always win. Even if they lose something, they always win. I don't want the good guys to win, or if they do, I want them to really suffer at one point or another, because that's a natural order of events, cause and effect. One thing happens, it leads to another thing that's happening or that will happen. And when I drew these girls, I mean, I did them all in like over the span of 2 days, and I was just, wait a minute, what the hell is this? It just poured out of my head. And I thought of names of all of them. I thought of the story behind all of them. And after a little while, I came to write out 6 issues of how the story is going to unfold. And if I like it, if I really, really love it, I'm going to see if I can extend it somehow, at least a couple of more issues, and see how far it goes, because there's so much more room for openings of other characters entering these things, entering this book, as well as it being a contained short story. So depending on how I continue the story after issue 6 will depend on if I decide to go to issue 6, because I have issue 2 written halfway through. I have issues 3, 4, 5, and 6 all plotted out. It's gonna require a little bit of polish, but yeah, I already have the story in mind, so I'm good.
So you've got to hook your readers into liking the bad guys, which is not impossible. In fact, the best way I've ever seen it done, in fact, the only way I've really ever seen it done, aside from the Joker, I can't explain why anybody likes the Joker. But when your bad guys go after worse guys, like Ocean's 11, those heist films, like you always root for the people pulling off the heist, but it's usually because they're stealing from gangsters.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what these girls are doing. These 3 girls, this goes into the origin of them. These 3 girls have decided to call themselves the Roaring. Now, they decide to set out and take over, by any means necessary, the criminal underworld of Chicago, which means they have to wipe out all the gangsters that are there are all the mobsters. Now, they've been doing it very well simply because no one really thinks that women are capable of doing this. Remember, we have to remember the time period. They just started, women just were able to vote in 1920, right around then. That's it. You know, before that, the country was a good 150 years old, 150 years old before, you can vote now. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like, it's silly. But at the same time, it's just, no one suspects that it's a bunch of girls that are wiping out all these criminal elements, and the cops aren't going to really care all that much. But as with them being able to do all these things without any type of contest or any type of adversity, they get reckless. But you see why they are the way they are and what they do. And I feel that when you read the first 10 pages of the book, you're going to get a very good idea of the leader of the group. And then you're going to get a better idea of who the other players are, just by the way they're acting, so yeah, I feel like I've crafted a pretty good origin, a pretty good first issue establishing, how the characters interact with, the gangsters all over the place and the environment within.
Yeah, because they're some of your characters are pretty messed up.
They're all messed up. The first one. Well, if we go back to the pages, can we go back to the interior pages on the Kickstarter? Yeah. Okay, let's go to that first set of original page. Let's go to the interior pages. Now, what we have here, we have the first girl. Her name is Ruth Alden. She's kitty kill Ruth Alden, whatever it is. And you see her, she's all acting all giddy. She's into her man and all that lovely stuff. She's acting all loosey-goosey and dumb and whatever the hell it is. And, she's like, oh my God, you brought me here? That's amazing. It's something like that. And she's acting all happy. And then you see her character a little bit more with the interaction over here, because on this last page over here, she drops a couple of champagne glasses. And the mob boss that brought her there is like, why'd you drop it? And then he gets antagonized to like order her to get it, and you see her face change a little bit. Like first she's acting goofy, and then you see her, she's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then he hits her. And then you see the next page over here where he's like grabs her by the face. And yeah, this could be like a very, very scary moment for most girls, but you could just see what Ruth is doing over here, and she's looking at the other girl, and it turns out that's Ginny. That's that's the third girl of the three that's there. So that look that she's giving her is a signal, like, all right, get ready. So the mobster over here is like, yeah, he's like, you gotta pick that. Well, she was gonna figure out what to do, but she decided to just, use these instruments over here. You see her picking up, and he's like, you gotta pick that up and use both hands, like you're gonna use my penis with your hands or something, something really bad. And she's like, oh yeah, don't worry, sweetheart. And then she picks up both of the jagged champagne glasses, and she goes, yes, trust me, I will use both hands. And oh my God, I showed you the pages, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you know what happens after that page, correct?
Oh yeah, it's stuff that Kickstarter would say, I'm sorry, we can't put this on our page, it violates our terms of service.
Yeah, but it's it's pretty violent. It's pretty violent, and it's it ramps up the story, and also the actions that these girls take. Oh yeah, these are some of the pages on the outset of it. These are some of the interior pages.
I was
like
just
right
looking to
here.
see if that was the page that had the.
What had you?
No, had the stabbing going.
Oh
on
no!
with the
Well, you could, if you want, you could take the page that I sent you and use it there if you want to. If you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll find it when I take the screen down here. I'll do some searching around for it. So
Yeah, it's in your chats. It's in the chats that you and I had. So if you want to show that page, go right ahead. I don't mind. As a matter of fact, if you want, you can show page 10 and 11 because that's directly after that.
I mean, let
me
find them here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll find them.
Okay, that's fine. But you see that it gives you you see what I try to do is I'm trying to show like who the characters are, through their actions. You know, especially with Ruth, she plays the dumb blonde or whatever it is. It's like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Wow, we're in a club. This is great. Oh my God. Oh, I dropped the champagne glass. I'm sorry. Let me pick it up for you.
Yeah,
And then that's
but
it.
she's real smart. She's not.
Oh, she's definitely smart. She's smart. She's cunning, and she is absolutely deadly. She does not give a damn about anything except the mission that she has, because these three girls have been friends since they were kids, but Ruth has always been like the ringleader, but they're all best friends. Ruth doesn't rule them by intimidation. It's like these other girls, they have a camaraderie with Ruth, and they know that Ruth is never gonna betray them because she never has, and none of the other girls, Ruth is never gonna betray them. Vice versa. They're closest friends, but they're also villains. I mean,
Yeah.
when you show pages 10, 11, you're gonna see something.
I'm looking.
That's okay.
I don't know which ones are 10 and 11, but
So the ones
okay.
it's the picking up of the glasses are page 9. I sent them all in numerical order to you.
Okay. I think I'm on. Yeah, I'm onto it here. Okay, I'm going to save this one.
Yeah. And so if you can show page 9 again so it can lead into what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That would be great, because if you can please show pages 9, 10, and 11. And yeah, that's going to be some fun stuff.
Okay, I got them saved. Now let me
Right.
now let me change their names, because Facebook names everything like, I have no idea how they name everything.
I know, I rolled. I'm just eye rolling. It doesn't matter.
They just throw numbers on shit.
They do. They do. And this is why I feel like this is my best work, because I really truly thought this story out. I really, definitely this first and second issues that are coming up. Excuse me. But yeah, I had so much fun doing these pages, because it was like, it allowed me to really cut loose with a lot of the violence and a lot of the gore and a little bit of the violence and everything. So yeah, it really steps up.
And I think I got them now yes, I've got them in proper order. So
all right, let's do page 9.
Let's share this page again here.
Where did I go?
Where I am. Okay, this is the pencils of page 9, not the inks.
Yeah, these are the pencils of page 9. I wanted you to take a first look at it. So here's a page 9. It's like, this after he hits her, and she gives a subtle signal to Ginny, Ginny, Ginny Thatcher. That's her full name. And he's ordering her, you better pick them up or I'm going to fucking kill you. She's like, all right, no problem. So please go to page 10. Oh!
Right.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Right in the eye. Right in the eye. And it's like the action it's like, look at her expression. Like, look at her expression. It's impassive. Like, this is something that she's just going to do. And like, she knows it already. So she swings.
She's crying a little bit here too, though.
She is a little bit, because she's losing a little bit of her humanity, because this is what's happening. She's having to kill people now, and that does some damage to your soul, or that could be blood. I don't know. I think I did put it as a tear. I don't know. So anyway, so she shoves the glass in his eye. Now, if you take a look, she goes around really quickly behind him, and she still has the glass in his eye, like guiding him, like he's like like those are reins on a horse. I mean, she's using his head and the glass in his eye to like move his body. So she takes the other broken glass, shoves it in his carotid artery, and then you can see on the bottom page, on the bottom panel over there, she really lets that out. And it's like, oh my God. It's like she just pulls it out of his neck, and I already have it inked, and there's supposed to be some arterial spray. Now here, while he's bleeding all over the damn place, she gets his gun. And while she still has the other glass in his eye, she pulls him, and while he's bleeding profusely all over the place, she takes it and she shoots the other two mobsters that were there. And then I use that I use that as a cut, as a camera cut to right outside that little private area where we meet two of the other girls that are there. Now, the one over here with the ample bosom over here is Dorothy. That's Dorothy right there.
Got it.
Dorothy Barlow. She's the one who's like a sociopath. And the girl over here at the end, her name is Millicent. But Millicent, let's just say Millicent is not long for this world. Let's just say it's like there's a purpose that she's there, and that's it.
Don't get attached
But-
to her.
I'm sorry? Yeah, don't get attached to her. But there's a reason as to why her character is very, very important. So that's just a taste of what the art is, what I have for the art. And I've already inked these 2 pages. You know, I just haven't really posted them out just yet. But being that it's here and all that stuff, I figured, yep, let me just do it. And there's another page that I want to show, which happens after all the action and everything. You know, could you please pull that up?
Is that this
Well,
one?
not that
Or is
one.
that...
No, not that one. Well, there's okay.
Whoa, wait a second. Dorothy is
Oh, wait, go
like-
back. Oh my God, go back. Okay, that's fine. All right. Now, while all this is happening, all right, there's something that's happening to Millicent right over there. And there's another thing that's happening over here where Ginny, it turns out Ginny has a genius level intellect and she has a photographic memory and she has a couple of other skills that are rather lethal and everything. But she cracks the safe without an effort, gets the documents that she needed, and right over here is where Ruth, after all that stuff that happened, Ruth is taking command. Like you see her, and she's just like, okay, great. Now you got that. Now we got to get the hell out of here. Now, if you go to the next page, there's about 2 other pages that are in between it, which I don't want to completely reveal. But it looks like the person who did the horrible thing to Melissa is getting her comeuppance, and that's Dorothy right there. So she's kind of insane. I mean, you can see her unloading hundreds of bullets into this guy's body. You know, so it's like, yeah,
she's the
it's pretty
definition
bad.
of overkill.
She is the definition of overkill, and while she's shooting, and she's like still screaming. It's like it's just pure passion, and the girl's dying, as you can see. She's reaching for something over here. Now, right over here on the bottom is where I establish how close the girls are. Right over here, because it's like you see Ginny over here. Ginny's a little bit more sensitive. She's a little bit more aware of things. And she's like, oh my God, Melissa's dead, or Millicent's dead. And you have Dorothy here. She's like, get the fuck off me. I'm going to kill him. And Ruth is over here. It's like, I think you got him. And she's like, they all have to fucking pay. They all have to pay. And she's like, yeah, they'll pay. And they will pay. But we got to get the hell out of here now. Just like that. It's like Ruth turned from the ditzy girl who was going to be double teamed by those mobsters into someone that you do not fuck with. And you see it. And it's like you see her, the changes in her face and her demeanor and her posture and how strong she is, as a person. Like, because Dorothy is taller than Ruth. Dorothy's a lot bigger than Ruth, but Ruth like knows how to just like stop her and like make sure that nothing happens to her. You know what I mean? It's like she's the only one who can calm her down. So you see, it's like we've established that not only is Ruth completely and absolutely deceptive like your average spy, but she's also clever enough to get into situations and able to get out of said situations. Ruth Alden is a really dangerous woman. And with the people with these two that are here, these 2 best friends that she has, they've all known each other since they were kids, like really young kids, and they've all protected each other. So it's like their bond is beyond family. It's beyond love, and they will do anything for each other.
Now,
But when I say,
but are they going to be
I'm
colored?
sorry? Oh yeah, it's going to be colored.
Full color, cool.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
doing coloring?
Am I talking too much? I apologize.
No. I just come up with questions at the wrong times.
No, it's okay. What was I going to say? Yes, no, it's going to be color. It'll definitely be color. I'm taking inspiration of coloring from the 1920s Art Deco posters, and I'm going to take a little bit of inspiration on hues from them. And quite frankly, that makes it a lot easier to color because it's like they just have one main color and it's airbrushed. So I'm like, phew, it's not going to be as
Yeah.
difficult as it was the last time.
Of course,
You
a
know,
lot
but-
of their clothing, and this is a coloring. I can color with crayons. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I'm supposed to show light reflecting off something, fuck that. I'm not for that. But you're in an era where everything's made out of sequins. Everything's reflecting. Everyone's wearing a disco ball.
Yeah, and what's good about that is that I'll make sure that I know how to. I just learned, and I've been experimenting, and I know how to apply some of the effects when it comes to the glowing and all that stuff. So we'll be okay. We'll be okay. You know.
All right.
But yeah, and I wonder who this is. Oh, wait a minute. This is Chief Robert John. I forgot his last name. It's in the Kickstarter. I forgot Carter.
Kickstarter, yeah, Carter.
Yeah,
That's his
it's
name.
Chief Carter. This is Chief Carter.
Yeah, but
Yep.
He's an
And he's just
ancestor.
like, yep, a long dead ancestor, like a 100 years ago. And he looks out the window and he goes, "Oh, great, here she is." And there's a police officer sitting down in the back reading a newspaper. It's like, "Oh, so what are you going to tell her?" He's like, "Well, the only thing I really can tell her, the truth, and hopefully she won't do anything. And we got to get the truth from her." And the cop is like, "You sure about this? She's only been at this for 2 years, and she's our first female officer." And this is where you become woke, where it's like, look, just because she's a female, doesn't make her any less of a competent officer. Let's give her a chance. Let's see what the hell she does. And that's when she comes
I can
in.
be that woke.
No, you don't have to be that woke.
I can
But-
be that level of woke, sure.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
Now,
all
what we
right.
have here, after we saw all the pages, now what I have over here are the rewards. Now, what I wanted to do was when I did this campaign, I wanted to make it into the style and the Art Deco advert design of how the book was going to look. So I did all this. I just made a list like this and all
Yeah,
this
it looks
lovely
good.
stuff. Yeah, it's there. I have to change some of the graphics because over the last week it's been a little bit weird. But I want to go down to the one that's underneath it. Just in case there are any lovely ladies who are watching this. Now someone already got this, and I have a feeling a couple of other people are going to get this too. This is the Crash the Party commission reward tier. You get 2 in 1. You get, now the first one over here on the left, that's just an example of what the thing could look like. You get an
Right.
A3/tabloid size commission, fully penciled, black and white, in a mock cover of the first issue of The Roaring, where if there's going to be a girl who's going to be a flapper and she wants it there, she's going to be represented as a flapper on that thing. So she's going to have her own faux cover art and all that stuff. And then also, once that's done, because I have 5 scenes where there's going to be a very prominent flapper or gangster in the middle of the panel. I have 4 slots open out of 5 that I had. The person who gets this commission gets her appearance, gets to have her likeness placed in the comic, and it's a 2 in 1.
So you get a
And
cover
it's
reproduction, and then you also appear in the book.
Yes, that's the shortest way I could have said it, and I'm sorry that I took so long to say it.
That's cool. I'm trying to place who this is.
Oh, I wonder who that could be. That's our beloved friend Nita Lanning, who is pretty much in charge of the Raging 2 network. And she helped promote the book a little bit, so I decided, okay, I'm going to put her into the book. And there it is. That's her. That's what you're going to get. That's what anyone is going to get. That's an actual commission cover that when this campaign is funded, she's going to get. So
that's going to look so awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
I love commission pieces. I've got a commission inked piece from you up here of this Batgirl that's just
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Looking. I always make sure I get that in pictures whenever I'm taking pictures of stuff. It's behind some of my Lego stuff, but So there's 4 more of these available.
There's 4 more of those available at 150 pounds, which is excruciatingly cheap for anything like that, because usually you get 200 just to appear in the book or higher, or 150 for the commission all by itself. So,
Yeah.
you're getting a 2-in-1, and I wanted to do that. Also, all the art that evolves, just to be sure, just to let you guys know, all the art that you've seen so far will be available as a backer reward.
Yeah, I just scrolled past a bunch of that to I wanted to get
Yeah,
down to the
Crash the Party
so
Commission, yeah.
The US dollars on this. Currently today it's at 178.
Yeah, because the pound has dropped precipitously of late. So yeah, that's still an incredible bargain, because again, you get people who are like charging 200 for a commission.
Absolutely. I've seen 500.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's
Especially for cover
ridiculous.
art. And this is a cover art commission.
Yeah, the original.
Fact,
well, yeah, this is the cover to issue 1. I made that 150 pounds. The cover to issue 1. That's for anybody who wants the cover to issue 1. Anybody.
Wow. And the cover to issue 1 now
is this.
You got 3 of them, right? I mean,
well, I have this one. This is the main one. That's the main one. Okay, now if you scroll down a little bit more, what I did here, and this is why I love you, because I did 3 alternate covers over here, and I made them all together. I made one singular background for all of them, and that's also a reward. That's also a reward here as well. If you scroll upward a little bit, I think it's like the Foxy Moxie. I'm not sure. No, that's the original art. That's the Ruth cover.
Got a long way to go to get back to the top.
Yeah, sorry about that.
A lot of cool stuff on
the
here.
Ritz. Well, there's the Foxy 3. Yeah, the Foxy 3 I've already gotten a bunch. A physical copy of all 3, Dorothy, Ruth, and Ginny. And then you have the Ritz over here, which you get one of the original cover, all 3 of the alternate covers, a digital copy of the Roaring, and I'm in the middle of drawing a Not Safe for Work cover, and man, I got to show it to you when it's done. I'll unveil that on the Tuesday. I'm probably going to unveil that on the Tuesday morning brew on the Madness Comic Network, and
hit that subscribe button, folks.
Yeah, subscribe to the Comic Related Madness Network, please, because we're awesome. I'm a co-host on a co-host on a couple of the shows. RJ handles RJ. He does the evening parts of Crom Con. We have a bunch of great people working with us. So yes, please, yes.
Now I've seen a lot of the naughty pinups and the naughty covers. Is that indicative of that there's going to be interiors like this as well? I mean, this is not a
yes. There's going to be there's going to be some interiors like that, and there's going to be as the book goes on, and as things get more complex with the girls, they're going to do other things that are going to be a little bit more emotionally and physically compromising. And there's going to be suggestions of activities, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, there's going to be implied intimacy on numerous levels, and it's going to be it's going to be a little. It's not going to be the purest thing. I'm not trying to make it as in like something that's exploitative, but they've all said that they're going to do anything they possibly can to get what they want, and it includes this, and each one of them handle it differently.
Yeah. Well, they know what they've got, they know what they are, and they know how to use it.
Yeah. But at the same time, when they use it, it doesn't mean that they should, or they feel that they should, or one of them feels like they definitely should not. I mean, as things go on, I mean, even if all of them are committing the same crimes, there's a level of acceptance in which all of them accepts doing these crimes, based on the personalities that I just showed everybody, so there's that. So it's like, yeah, man, I mean, it's going to be it's a fun book, and it's going to be a really good book. It's a great book, as a matter of fact, in my opinion. It's the best thing I've ever done. But it's also going to have a bunch of adult themes, which is what a comic like this deserves to have.
Yeah, and it's not expensive, people. I mean, I'm looking at the very first tier here. Okay, well, maybe not the very first tier.
Yeah.
For $3, you're getting the digital. $3
Yeah.
for the digital.
Yeah, $3 for the digital.
And you can get,
And
you
then
know, you got nice digital grouping here.
Mhm.
For $5. You get the first two in Contesi with the Roaring Number One.
Yep.
This is where I was looking at. About $8, you get a physical copy of the Roaring Number One and the digital copies and your name on the thank you page. That's pennies. That's nothing.
Yeah, that is nothing. And as you keep going along, I mean, I want to make this. I want people to read it. You know, I mean, I also want to make a little bit of money out of it, of course. But you know, I want people to read it. I'm not. I mean, because there were issues with the same amount of pages that charge like 10 or 15, and I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous. That's too much. You know, I don't want that. I don't want to press anybody out. You know, as if my book gets, you know, if it gets more popular, yeah, maybe I'll charge a little more. That's just, you know, that's just capitalism. But still, it's like, what do I have here? And oh, what else was I saying? You see, there's something that I'm also putting out for this. I call them the pre-stretch goals. Now, right now we're at 48 backers. Okay.
Yes.
The first thing that I have, I don't have the art with me, but I'll share it with you later. Yesterday on the draw stream, I drew a picture of the Incredible Hulk, you know, just for the sake of it. If we reach 50 backers, I'm going to choose out of a spin lottery type thing, out of how many backers there is, and whichever number backer it lands on will get that original A3/tabloid piece of art penciled the way it is. And also, I have what I'm going to have built in there is I'm going to have stat cards that are going to be A5 size, which is half of 8.5 by 11.
Right.
I'm going to take the drawings of the original girls and I'm going to place them in there. And then you're going to get you're going to have like an official handbook Marvel Universe type of listing of who they are, what their height is, you know, all their physical characteristics and their origin too. So you get a better idea of who they are. So when we reach 50, that's when I'm going to do the whole lottery thing where I will pick a backer out of the 50 that's there. When we reach 60 backers, also this is all contingent on if the campaign does, you know, reach its goal.
Succeeds, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, when it reaches its goal. When we reach 60 backers, I'm going to have the Ruth pick. I'm going to have the Ruth stat card. When we reach 70 backers, I'm going to reveal another couple of pages from the interior of the book fully inked. When we reach 70 backers, we're going to have Ginny there as well. And then when we reach 90 backers, we're going to have Dorothy.
She
you'll get all. Yeah, she seems to be the popular one. She is.
Yeah.
I like her.
And well, it's because you drew a color pinup of her with her boobies out.
I did. And I'm going to use that same pinup with her boobies out because, you know, boobies. But at the same time, it's I like her character because she's really out of her mind. She's truly out of her fucking mind. Pardon my language. And yeah, when we reach funding, every single physical backer will get all those 3 stat cards. All of them. Yeah, and then there's a couple of other rewards that I have to think of, you know, just in case I get past 2,500 pounds or something. I mean, because I already have an idea of what the stretch goals could be, but I want to make sure that they can be done.
I like the that they have mobster names. You know, not aliases, but sort of like just nicknames. You know, Kitty Kiss, Dolly Deadly, and Big Brain.
Yep.
Because you know that was a Al Scarface Capone kind of stuff.
Yep. Forgive me, I had to turn the camera off for a minute. But yeah, that's true. I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay. Do you ever reference any of the mobsters that were famous from the time, like the Capones or gosh, I can't think of who else was in business at the time now, but you know, Elliot Ness, all of his crew.
Not really. No, not really. I mean, I have a generic idea through reference on who these monsters are. But at the same time, I don't want to use anything that's going to be it's going to look like them too much. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I really don't want to do that because that would just lend to that would just be like, okay, I'm just swiping everything. No, the mobsters that I'm using. Actually, I'll be honest with you. One of them is the really big, burly one is loosely based off of Steve Buscemi of all people. With the face. And I just wanted to. I was thinking using Danny DeVito, but I can't. Not Danny DeVito. I like him. And it's just the other guy is just like I kind of made him like just a sleazy long-haired guy or something like that. And in the script, it's funny because they all have Italian names, and I wanted to make them Italian mobsters, but I really didn't feel like going through all the names that I can think of. So I decided to name them all cold cuts. So one of them is Kappa Bologna. The other one is Kappa Salami, and the other one's Kappa Provolone. So I'm like, I'm just going to use that.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
They're all part of the Delicatessi family.
Yes, the Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. That's awesome.
Now we've kind of skipped one of the characters here who could be viewed as actually your main character, and that's Sophie Grant, the police officer who's going to infiltrate the group.
Do we want to? Is there any way we can? We can't really zoom in on her, can we? Not really. Okay. Well,
really.
Sophie Grant is in the first page of the book. We get an idea of who she is. She's called into the office, and this is after all the events that happened in the speakeasy the night before. She's called into the office, and the chief is going to ask her a bunch of serious questions, and it pertains to the events of what happened at the speakeasy. Now, I can't give away the ending of the story, but Sophie Grant, the officer there, she decides to infiltrate the group because what happened over there in that speakeasy affected her profoundly.
So
and now it's part revenge, part civic duty to get rid of these girls because they may think that they're doing something special and stopping crime or doing what they think they're supposed to be doing, but the truth of the matter is that they're committing murder. They're committing murder, and people are dying as a result of their actions. So
you can't be a good person and go killing people. I always had that problem watching Arrow. I mean, the first season was basically him, putting arrows into people and killing them, and then deciding I'm going to serve a more heroic purpose. I'm like, well, that's great, but you still have 30 to 40 years per each one of these guys that you've got to serve out first.
Yeah, and they made him like the paragon of all truth, and it's like, really? No, well, he kills people.
Do that in comics all the time. I mean, it wasn't but a couple of years ago that Harley Quinn distributed bombs and teddy bears to children. And blew several of them up, and now she's working with Batman.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It gets
that's
forgiven.
Just terrible.
So you want to be a hero now? Okay, we'll forgive everything you've done. Help us in the fight for truth, justice, and the American way. Blah blah blah.
And that doesn't work.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It's crazy.
It doesn't. It is crazy. Give me a second. Here I am. Sorry, I have to take care of something.
That's okay. I got to shut it off sometimes too.
Yeah.
What? Did I stop sharing entirely? I did. That wasn't what I meant to do.
No, it's okay.
I meant to take it down because now is this a pinup?
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them.
So this is going to be part of the campaign at some point. I mean, it's one
of this is going to be part of the campaign. This is going to be one of the cards. So this is going to be one of the stat cards that are there. It's like you're going to see, and you also get an idea of what they look like originally.
Yeah, this is your concept art from the beginning.
This is the original concept art. The first time I ever drew those girls. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, can't wait, man. Can't wait.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Folks,
man.
I don't know why this is not growing faster. Where's my mouse? I got to get my head all the way around to my monitor here. I've got a weird setup now. It's like now that I got this cage to hold all the boxes for shipping and stuff, I had to move my monitor back a little bit, but like the two bars of my shelf are in front of my monitor. So sometimes I can see through it. It's a blind spot. And sometimes I just got to reach around. I want to get something that would mount to the side of this rack that would like a monitor mount. And then I could just like swing it out and then swing it back. But I don't think they make something that is exactly like what I need. I think they got stuff that either is a desk mount and then I'd swing it out and it would just fall onto the ground, or it would mount to the wall, which I can't do. But I got to get something. It's hurting my eyes. 48, but Rich, I did nothing for you today, man. I completely failed you. I did not get you one backer. And
you know what it is? It's the middle of a pay period.
Yeah, it's also the middle of the Kickstarter, kind of, sort of.
It's the middle. Yeah, it's the 5th day of a Kickstarter. It's the middle of a pay period. You know, and in the United States, everyone gets paid once every 2 weeks, most of the time. If not, I mean, it's every other week, right?
Pretty much. I just got paid yesterday.
Okay, yeah, but that's in the middle of the month.
Yeah,
you know, that's in the middle of the month. You get paid. Most people get paid in the middle of the month and at the end of the month. This is the in between part between the middle and the end of the month. I kind of expected this. You know, I mean, just getting the awareness of this campaign out is enough. And trust me, when Thursday and Friday come around, I will be a lot more present. As a matter of fact, there's going to be a bunch of things that are rather important about this that I will most likely reveal at the end of next week, you know, to entice. And I also have, who else do I have? I'm going on Shay's podcast, and I'm going to see if there's anybody else. Yeah. Red Valkyrie.
I've got to watch that because for folks in the chat who don't know, if you tune into the Red Valkyrie channel, Shay cosplays whoever the main characters are of the book that she's interviewing. So if you want to see Shay in a flapper dress with a Tommy gun, this is the night to do it.
I should be okay with this campaign. If I don't make this campaign, I'll be very surprised.
Oh yeah, I've got absolute faith you're going to make it. It's just I like to get somebody to back during the show. You know, I feel like I'm doing something, but
it's okay. No, I had a great conversation, and you know, I'm going to do an Indiegogo after this anyway. So
yeah.
You know, I'm going to do an Indiegogo a week after this campaign ends. You know, so
are you gonna? Yeah, because it's like, you know, it's the path is Kickstarter, Indiegogo, second Indiegogo, because you do the 30, then the 30, and then you just leave it in demand and people just buy it like it's a store.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, I'm not worried about it. Like if God forbid this campaign doesn't make it, I'll just make sure that I promote the Indiegogo. I'll release it a week later than I was going to do, and I'll just go Indiegogo because a lot of people are going for Indiegogo a little bit more anyway, because you don't have to wait for Kickstarter to take the funds out.
Yeah.
You know, once you go on an Indiegogo campaign, you know, the funds are out, the funds are taken. You don't have to worry about having to hold on to it for a bit.
That's what I like. You know? I've started
I like
backing
it too.
a lot more
it's much better than.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You first.
I started backing a lot more Kickstarters, but I've waited till like the last day of it all the time now. So
yeah, that's how it is really. So it's like I'll do the big push towards like the last 10 week to 10 days, and I'll make sure I get it. You know, one way or the other, I will get it. But because I refuse to be stopped. I will not be stopped. And besides, I'm going to be releasing art. I'll be releasing colored pages and stuff, and I'm going to keep making updates. I'm going to keep doing live shows in which I'll be drawing the pages, or I'll be inking them or coloring them one way or the other. And, you know, when all that is said and done, I'll have a finished issue by the time the campaign ends, and I'll have one for the Indiegogo. And a lot of people would prefer to back an Indiegogo anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm not really worried about it.
Just the way people are. There's like, I don't like Kickstarter, I like Indiegogo. I don't like Indiegogo, I like Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Either way, you're putting money in and getting the product, so it doesn't really matter.
That is true.
But anyhow, Rich, thank you so much for bringing the Roaring onto our channel today.
Thank
Always
you.
appreciate
Thank
getting
you.
a chance to talk with you.
Excellent. Man.
Whether we're on the show or we're just I'm driving down the road and you're dialing up on my Facebook account, that's always welcome too. Got a lot of people who do that now. And we can talk about business or not. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We don't have a show unless you're here to watch it. We're just a podcast falling in the woods, I like to say. Otherwise, yeah, it's didn't really matter if nobody watched. And always, as you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Come by tonight, 7:00 Central, for the open mic night. The usual peanut gallery will be here just shooting the shit about what happened in comics the last 2 weeks. We will talk to you later. Good night.
All right. Thank you.